Yes. So once again, let me repeat the topic which we have discussed yesterday. So already we are done with this if conditions and simple if and else. We are done with the simple if and else. So our first topic yesterday is nested if. So in the nested ifs program, we have taken two strings and two integers. Now we are just going to check whether the first string is double equals to this string or not. If it is equals, then it enters into the block. If it true, okay. So then it shows a message. If it is true, it shows a message first true. And after showing this message, it is trying to validate the second if here. So here the second if, where am I declaring the second if? In the first if condition. So ఈ inner if condition ఎక్కడ డిక్లేర్ చేస్తున్నాను? ఫస్ట్ if condition లో డిక్లేర్ చేస్తున్నాను. అంటే ఇది ఇప్పుడు నెస్టెడ్ if అన్నమాట. సో ఇప్పుడు ఈ సెకండ్ స్ట్రింగ్ ఈక్వల్ కదా అని చెక్ చేస్తుంది. ఈక్వల్ అయితే సెకండ్ వన్ ఈజ్ ఆల్సో ట్రూ. ఒకవేళ ఈ సెకండ్ స్ట్రింగ్ ఈక్వల్ కాకపోతే ఎల్స్ బ్లాక్ లో ఈ ఆల్టర్నేటివ్ మెసేజ్ చూపిస్తుంది. అంతే కదండి? ఎస్. Suppose if this string is not happening, if the string is not equals to the welcome, ఇది false అయితే, without executing all these things, directly it will go for else block, the alternative block. So in the else we have the first one as false and it shows a message first false, and again the else has one more if condition. Okay, so నేను ఏం చెప్తున్నానంటే జనరల్ గా ఇఫ్ కండిషన్స్ ని ఎక్కడైనా డిక్లేర్ చేయొచ్చు విత్ ఇన్ ద మెథడ్ స్కోప్. ఒక మెథడ్ లో ఒక లూప్ లో చేయొచ్చు ఒక ఇఫ్ కండిషన్ ని, లేదా మెథడ్ లోనే ఇవ్వచ్చు, ఇంకొక ఇఫ్ కండిషన్ లో ఇవ్వచ్చు, లేదా ఎల్స్ పార్ట్ లో కూడా ఇఫ్ కండిషన్స్ డిక్లేర్ చేయొచ్చు. దే ఆర్ జస్ట్ లైక్ బాడీ. మెథడ్ బాడీ ఎలాగో అలాగే ఇఫ్ కండిషన్ అండ్ ఎల్స్ బ్లాక్ బాడీ కూడా అలాగే ఉంటుంది. ఇట్ క్యారీ సమ్ బ్లాక్ ఆఫ్ కోడ్. హియర్ ఇఫ్ క్యారీ సమ్ కోడ్, ఎల్స్ ఆల్సో క్యారీ సమ్ కోడ్. ఇక్కడ ప్రింట్ ఉంది, ఇక్కడ ప్రింట్ ఉంది. అంటే ఎల్స్ లో ఓన్లీ ఆల్టర్నేటివ్ మెసేజెస్ కోసమే డిస్ప్లే చేయట్లేదు. ఎల్స్ ఈస్ నాట్ ఓన్లీ ఫర్ డిస్ప్లేయింగ్ ద ఆల్టర్నేటివ్ మెసేజెస్. సో దెర్ ఈస్ సమ్ కోడ్ విచ్ ఇస్ టు బి డన్ ఆల్టర్నేటివ్లీ. ఇక్కడ చూడండి ఎల్స్ బ్లాక్ లో హియర్ వీ హ్యావ్ సమ్ బిజినెస్ లాజిక్ ఆర్ నాట్. ఓకే, ఇఫ్ రాస్తున్నాం, ఎల్స్ రాస్తున్నాం, బట్ వేర్ వీఆర్ రైటింగ్ ఇన్ ఎల్స్ బ్లాక్. ఓకే, అండ్ డోంట్ థింక్ అదర్వైజ్ లైక్ వీ కెన్ డూ ఓన్లీ ఇఫ్ కండిషన్ నెస్టెడ్ ఇఫ్స్ లైక్ దిస్ ఓన్లీ. ఇలాగే ఉంటాయి నెస్టెడ్ ఇఫ్స్ అంటే ఈ డేటాను యూస్ చేసుకుని కాదు. ఇక్కడ డేటా మనం స్టాటిక్ గా తీస్తున్నాం. సపోజ్ ఇఫ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ మై ప్రాజెక్ట్, ఇదే నా ప్రాజెక్ట్ అయితే ఐ విల్ గెట్ దిస్ డేటా ఫ్రమ్ డేటాబేస్. ఈ డేటాస్ ని ఈ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ని నేను డేటాబేస్ ని తెచ్చుకుంటాను. సో by getting the data from the database, I'm just going to validate all these things with the conditions. If it is not happening, I'll just make it move to the else. Then the code definitely works. Okay, and so you can write anything here. మీరు ఇక్కడ ఏదైనా రాసుకోవచ్చు if conditions, else blocks. And within this if we can declare one more if also. ఈ if లో ఇంకొక if కూడా declare చేయొచ్చు. And you'll be having no problems. Okay, but the inner if condition will be evaluated when only the outer if is true. Outer true అయితేనే inner లోకి ఎంటర్ అవుతుంది. ఇది కూడా ట్రూ అయితే అప్పుడు బ్లాక్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేస్తుంది. ఈ బ్లాక్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవ్వాలంటే ఫస్ట్ outer ట్రూ అవ్వాలి, నెక్స్ట్ ఇన్నర్ ట్రూ అవ్వాలి. ఓకే, ఈ రెండు ట్రూ అయితే ఈ లోపలికి ఎంటర్ అవుతుంది. So this is nested if concept. As well as we have multiple ifs concept here. In the multiple ifs, see, for multiple ifs we have taken a variable and we are just going to validate by which number the 455 will be divisible. 455 ఏ నెంబర్ తో డివిజిబుల్ అవుతుందో చెక్ చేస్తాం, అంతే కదా. ఓకే, let me try to evaluate with 2. So x modulus 2, that means I'm going to divide it by 2, and if it gets a remainder 0, then we can say it is 2. Else no, by 2. Yes, it can be divisible by 2 అని చెప్తుంది. లేదు, no, by 2, 2 తో divisible కాదు అని చెప్తుంది. Similarly 3, 7 and 11, 18. Okay, we're just checking with all the possible conditions here. అంటే 455 అనే నెంబర్ 2తో అవుతుందా లేదా. This is one if and else. The next one, this is another if and else. Next one, another if and else, checking with 7. Another if and else, checking with 11. And another if and else, checking for 18, whether if it is divisible by 18 or not. ఓకే, సో ఎప్పుడైనా కూడా మల్టిపుల్స్కి ఎప్పుడు రాయాలంటే, ఇలాంటి కోడింగ్ ఎప్పుడు రాయాలంటే, సపోజ్ ఒక స్టూడెంట్ ఉన్నాడు. లెట్ us take a student. If a student has participated in any of this sports, అంటే ఏదైనా ఒక స్పోర్ట్ లైన్ పార్టిసిపేట్ చేశాడా లేదా అని ఎవాల్యుయేట్ చేయడానికి ఈ కండిషన్స్ రాయకూడదు. If you'd like to check all the possible sports participated by the student, ఒక స్టూడెంట్ అన్ని పాసిబుల్ స్పోర్ట్స్ తో పార్టిసిపేట్ చేశాడా లేదా. సో లెట్ us take క్రికెట్, కబడ్డీ, ఖోఖో, వాలీబాల్, ఇలా డిఫరెంట్ స్పోర్ట్స్ ఉన్నాయి. ఇప్పుడు ఏ స్పోర్ట్స్ లో పార్టిసిపేట్ చేశాడు, ద లిస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ స్పోర్ట్స్ పార్టిసిపేటెడ్ బై ద స్టూడెంట్. అప్పుడు మనం ఏం చేయొచ్చు అంటే ఇఫ్ అండ్ ఎల్స్ రాసుకోవచ్చు. టు చెక్ ఏ వాల్యూ టు బి చెక్డ్ ఫర్ ఆల్ పాసిబుల్ కండిషన్స్. అన్ని పాసిబిలిటీస్ రాయాలంటే ఇఫ్ అండ్ ఎల్స్, మల్టిపుల్ ఇఫ్ అండ్ ఎల్స్. దిస్ మల్టిపుల్ ఇఫ్ అండ్ ఎల్స్ కెన్ బి డన్ లైక్ దిస్. So there is continuation for this if and multiple if and else, that is called ladder. The same example, but here we are putting it else if. This is not just simple if, but this is else if. Else if in the sense, if not above if, then the else if. If not above if, then else if. And again else if. If not above else if, then else if. This one, if not above, then again this one. If not above, if not this, then this one. So if not this one, then else part. So else part ఎప్పుడు వస్తుంది, if not above all if conditions. పైన ఉన్న if conditions ఏవి ట్రూ కాకపోతే డైరెక్ట్ గా else కి వస్తుంది. So difference between the multiple ifs and the if else is, in multiple ifs every if condition will have an else part. ప్రతి ఒక్క if condition ఒక else రాయాలి. Okay, to show the alternative methods. But in the if else, for all the above if conditions, there would be only one else block. Okay, just look at this diagram. If we have a start state like this, so if you have a start state like this, and the program starts from if, so if it is true, it directly goes to the stop state. And rest of the conditions ఏమి చెక్ చేయకుండా డైరెక్ట్ గా స్టాప్ కి వెళ్ళిపోతుంది. Right? So when if is false, then it is going to evaluate else if. Again, this is false, it passes the control to else if. So when this else if is true, direct it will go for stop state. And so when if it is false, it passes to the next else if followed by else if. And again, even that is also false, then we'll go for else. So if not this one, if not else if, then the else part will be executed, then else part will go to the stop state. Okay, hope it is clear for you. If you have any questions, you can just drop on the box, chat box. I'll get back to you first. Just looking at the chat box. Oh, okay. Yeah, I had lunch at Degree College. Yeah, thank you. So if you have any questions, please drop it on the chat box. I'll keep on looking at the chat box. Yeah, fine. So now it is clear for you the ladder. So the ladder is going to be executed in the diagrammatic approach, this one, and the program is here. Okay. The previous program, it shows all the possible outputs, you can see. So first it is going to evaluate by 2, but it failed. By evaluating by 3, it failed. It is trying to evaluate by 7. Yes, it passed the condition, then it shows S by 7. And 11 and 18 are also failed. The same program, not putting multiple ifs, but using if else, see the output difference. It shows only S by 7. Okay, because this is the only condition that it makes it as true. And one more thing, let me give you 5 here. Instead of 11, I put 5. Okay, let me change it here also. Now see the output with multiplets here after changing it to 5. Okay, wait. I need to change the message as well. Now execute the program. See here. S by 7. Even after the 7 is true, it is coming for 5. So 7 true అయిన తర్వాత కూడా నెక్స్ట్ కండిషన్ 5 కండిషన్ కి వస్తుంది. ఇదే ladder లో అయితే సేమ్ divisible by 5 but only after 7. సో ఇప్పుడు ఇది ట్రూ అయిందంటే నెక్స్ట్ కండిషన్ ట్రూ కాదు, అంటే ద నెక్స్ట్ ఎల్స్ ఇఫ్ పార్ట్ విల్ నాట్ బి ఎవాల్యుయేటెడ్. ఫర్దర్ ఇంకేమున్నాయో అన్ని ఎవాల్యుయేట్ కావు. It skips all the statements when the 7 is true. See here. So it shows only S by 7. Though the 445 is divisible by 5, but it is unable to do this because the control will never look at it this. Control ఎప్పుడు కూడా ఈ స్టేట్మెంట్స్ ని చూడదు. ఎందుకని ఇక్కడ ట్రూ అయిపోతుంది. ఇక్కడ ఫాల్స్ అయితేనే నెక్స్ట్ స్టేట్మెంట్ చూస్తుంది. ఇది ఫాల్స్ అయితే నెక్స్ట్ ఇక్కడ చూస్తుంది. లాస్ట్ ఈ ఎల్స్ కూడా ఫాస్ట్ అయితే then will go for the alternative, the last alternative one and only block, else block here. Okay, right. So that is about the ladder here and multiplets and then nested if. Okay, so here I have some questions for you, some assignment programs. I'll update these assignment programs on the web also. You can just have a look at the URL which I have given you previously for assignments and everything. Okay, see here the first program. Write a program to apply all arithmetic operators for calculation and display the result. Very easy program. You just have to create two variables, A variable and B variable. That means two operands, and you can perform all these operations over the two variables. Then you can display the result of each individual operator. The next one, write a program to apply all the logical operators and show the behavior. Okay, write a program to apply all the logical operators and show the behavior. So you know what are the logical operators, right? And write a program to apply relational operators. So similarly you can declare two variables, then you can perform relational operators between those variables. Okay. Next, write a program to show the difference while comparing double equals, primitive data type variables and instance variables. So will you what are instance variables? They're object variables, right? Okay. And primitive data type variables, you can make them as a local. You can just declare them as local. So simply this program meaning is comparing with double equals. For what? Comparing the local variables as well as instance variables by using double equals operator. Okay, from the main method you can just access the instance variable by creating objects. Object create chesi instance variables access cheyandi and try to compare them with double equals. See the behavior, just observe the behavior. Okay, ఇక్కడ ఎక్కడ కూడా నాకు ఈ అవుట్పుట్ చూపించమని చెప్పట్లేదు. So we are just asking you to show the behavior of the program, how the program behaves when if you do this type of operation. See, output అర్థం చేసుకుంటే ప్రోగ్రామ్ కాదు, ఫస్ట్ మనం బిహేవియర్ అర్థం చేసుకుంటే ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఈజీగా చేయగలం. Next, write a program to show the difference between pre and post increment operators. So you can easily do this program. Write a program with conditional or ternary operator. So already we have done the conditional or ternary operation. Okay, so if they are equal, you are asked to return true, else false. So here you have to show the output either true or false. Next, write a program to apply all assignment operators. Equal to, greater than or equal is a global assignment, and plus equals, minus equals, star equals, slash equals, modulus equals, and for bitwise also bitwise and equals, bitwise or equals, Okay, XOR equals and negation equals. So these are the operators so that we can use for assignment. So when if you'd like to add the result there itself, then you can use this assignment operators. సో రిజల్ట్ ని ఒక వేరియబుల్ ని షార్ట్ హ్యాండ్ వేలో ఒక ఎక్స్ప్రెషన్ రాయడానికి మనం ఏం చేస్తామంటే అసైన్మెంట్ ఆపరేటర్స్ యూస్ చేసి రాస్తాం. ద షార్ట్ హ్యాండ్ వే ఆఫ్ రైటింగ్ అన్ ఎక్స్ప్రెషన్ బై యూజింగ్ దిస్ అసైన్మెంట్. A plus equal to B అంటే A equal to A plus B. Very simple. Next, write a program to show the behavior of instance of and comparison operator. Okay, to show the behavior of instance of comparison operator. Instance of ఒక ప్రోగ్రామ్ చేసాం కదా, సో చెప్పాలంటే సింపుల్ గా నేనే చెప్పేసాను మీకు ఈ ప్రోగ్రామ్. ఓకే, అండ్ లాస్ట్ వన్ దిస్ వన్ very important program. Write a program to swap two integer variables with the temp and without temp. By using temporary variable, you have to swap the variable data, and without using temp also we can do that. Okay, but these are assignments for you, so I should not disclose the program right now. I have to give you only the program list, but not the answers. I will not give you the answers right now. I should not disclose these answers right now, as per the rule. So just try from your end. If you have any questions, okay, just drop a mail to the email ID which I have given to you. It's corenuts.java. Hope you have that email ID. corenuts.java@gmail.com. Okay, just drop a mail to this email ID. But still I will suggest you to how to do the program, but not I will not provide you the program. Okay, so these are the programs and operators, so please practice those programs. And also by this weekend, I mean the day after tomorrow, we'll be having some exam, that online exam. You have to appear for that. Yeah, that's fine. So now we are done with this if conditions, all types of if conditions, and the final we should have to go for the switch one here, switch block. So the switch takes a choice, right? It takes a choice. The choice can be an integer or character or string and చెప్పాను కదా. And the switch block can hold cases like this. Case n1, n2, nm, and the last case would be the default case. Okay. So what it will have? How does it execute the case? So based on the choice given by you. Suppose if my choice is n2, then it triggers case n2 here. Then it executes a block of code related to n2, and the case execution will be terminated by break statement, because the cases will not have open bracket and closing bracket. The case execution begins from the colon like this. You must have to put the colon after the case number or the case value. Okay, after this choice value you have to put the semicolon, colon, not semicolon, it's colon. Then the block execution will be started. After the block execution, if it finds a break statement, automatically the program execution will stop there itself. So why should we put the break statement? So we need to avoid the next case execution. So if you don't put the break statement, the next case will be executed automatically. If there is any entry case, if there is any case entry, or if there is any default case, that will be executed. The execution will just propagate to the next case, and you need to just stop the execution propagation from one case to another case just by putting the keyword called break keyword here. Okay, so the break keyword just stops the execution propagation from one case to another case. So execution ఒక కేసు నుంచి ఇంకో కేసుకి వెళ్ళకుండా ఉండడానికి ఏం చేస్తామంటే బ్రేక్ కీవర్డ్ యూస్ చేస్తాం. Okay, and if your choice is not in the cases, then the default case will be executed. Then it shows block of code what you are going to show here. So mostly the default cases will be used to display the alternative messages like an else block. If not above all the cases, then the default case. Okay. So see here, I have a variable I equal to 5. Switch off I. So what is my choice now? My choice is I. I means integer variable. And what is the value there? 5. Now what is the choice now? 5. 5 is my choice. Since the choice I, here the choice variable I is a integer variable, I should have to make the cases as integer cases. I should not make them as double. I should not make them as a character. Okay. See, this is going to be different. You should not put characters instead here. And I should not put any string. So only integer works here. For example, if I put a character here, I don't have any errors. But whether this program is compiled or not, yes, it was compiled. Compile అయిపోయింది చూడండి errors లేవు ఇక్కడ. So now what is supposed to take for this character when if you pass an integer? So when I pass an integer called 97, if my choice is 97, worry అవసరం అవసరం లేదు. ఇక్కడ case 1 లేదు, case 1, case 4 and case A and default. So no cases having the choice 97. ఇక్కడ ఉండే 4 cases లో 97 అనేది లేదు. But what is this is a small a, it's a character. What is the ASCII value of this character a small a? It is 97. So internally the Java compiler just just compatible with the ASCII values and the characters. So all the characters ASCII values are compatible with either integers or character types. Now this choice is compatible with A, character A, because what is your choice here? 97. 97 in the sense what it is going to be? That's going to be the character A. Okay. So do you think this program works now? There are no compilers, whether you get the output or not. So there are no runtime errors are also. See the output, you can see the 3. That is a case A. Or let me change the expression. A case. I would like to show here. This is A case, not capital A, that is small a. Okay. Now see the output. The output shows A case because the choice is 97. If I insert 98, there is no case B, right? Then it shows invalid choice here. Yeah. Hope it is clear. The switch. Okay. So this is how we can write a switch block. Okay. So integers are compatible with, just wait. Here you can insert 97 or 98, whatever it is. If it is 4, now the case 4 will be executed. It shows 4. It is showing 4 because our choice is 4 now. Okay. So characters are compatible with integer types. Characters are compatible with integer types. So what the characters are supposed to get for integers, they will get their ASCII values. Instead of storing a plain character, so it will just ask the compiler to convert it into ASCII, and that ASCII will be evaluated, and that particular ASCII will be stored. Then it's going to verify whether the 97 is double equals to 97. When the case matches here for execution, then it shows a system.out.println and calls the break statement. So let me remove the break statement. We'll see what will happen for this. Case A trigger cheyalante ASCII value exactly 97. See the output. See here. What is my choice? 97. అంటే కేసే ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేస్తుంది. But 4 ఎందుకు వస్తుంది? Because lack of break statement here. So when if you have the break statement, obviously that will not be executed. The next case will not be executed. Okay. Yes. So that is about the conditional statements. And the next statements, next type of statements, I'll just copy this. Now this is the time to discuss the looping statements. MCV Degree College, please put your mic on mute. MCV Degree College, Pumalur, please put your mic on mute. I'm getting some disturbance. Okay, so continue. Let's continue this. The looping statements. What are these looping statements? So these statements will be executed. These statements will execute one or more statements. Okay, either a loop can contain one statement or a loop can contain multiple statements. Any number of statements we can put it on a loop. Okay, but the statements what you are putting in the loop, they'll be executed repeatedly for n number of times. For n number of times, those statements will be executed repeatedly. Okay, so that's why they are called as loops, looping statements. So the first type of loop here, while loop. After this while, we'll go for do while. Then we'll discuss the for loop. Okay. So first of all, let us finish this while. Okay, let us discuss the while loop. So there are looping statements. If you want this definition, I can provide it. Looping statements. These statements can execute one or more statements. Okay, these statements can execute one or more statements repeatedly for n number of times. The n values depends on the logic what you are writing for that. For n number of times. So these statements can execute one or more statements repeatedly for n number of times. Okay, so what are the possible looping statements? The first type of looping statement is the while loop. Here the while is a keyword. The while loops. So this while loop make iterations. Of course, this while loop will make iterations or not. Iterations are nothing but executing the same statements repeatedly. Executing the same statements repeatedly. Okay, for getting the different results or for getting the similar results, or for getting the consecutive results or cumulative results. So when if you'd like to get the cumulative results, then just you have to make the iterations. Yes, of course, this is also one of the iterative statement. While is one of the iterative statements. It makes some iterations based on the following syntax here. So let us try to observe the syntax. Just observe the syntax here. First one, initialization. First you have to make initialization for this. Then while of some condition. Initialization, then while of condition. Just open the while block and it will be, so the block of code, so the block of code goes here, and after the block of code, so that will be, we can have some adjustment here. The adjustment might be increment or decrement, whatever it is. We may increment the iterations, we may decrement the iterations, depends on the logic, depends on the requirement. Okay, so first initialization, before declaring the while you have to go for initialization. You need to specify where exactly that should start. Okay, and here the condition which is used to evaluate the initial value. When the initial value is true, then it lets the control to enter into the block, then it makes adjustment for the initial value. For this initialization value you have to make the adjustment. After every adjustment, again it will go for condition check. So first initialization, then condition check, right? After initialization it will do the condition check, and when the condition is true, when if it is true here, when if it is true, it enters into the block, then adjustment. After the adjustment, again it will check for condition. After every updated value, how to check whether the condition is true or false. So the while will carry the block of execution when it receives the true from this condition. So this is just like our if condition, but the if is conditional statement. It happens only once. But loop, while is a loop here. This while loop repeatedly executed for n number of times. It repeatedly executed for n number of times. So there is a difference between the normal loopings and the conditional statements and the looping statements. Looping statements also they are also dependent on the condition, the same condition. So whatever you are supposed to put it in the if condition, the same things, the same expressions, I mean the Boolean expressions, we are going to put it in the while as well. But the reason here is like it is going to execute the block of code. This block of code will be executed multiple times. This block of code will be executed for multiple times. That is the only difference between these loops and the conditional statements. Block of statement will be executed only once in conditional, but the same block of statement will be executed for n number of times in the some question here. So from Lendy Degree College, iterative statements are also called as if statements. No, iterative statements, so if statements are not iterative statements. Iterative means something needs to be iterated for a number of times. A same condition, a same statement. Suppose ఒక line ni n number of times, multiple repeated times execute చేస్తూ ఉంటే దాన్ని iterative అంటారు. Iterative statements లో ఒక స్టేట్మెంట్ లేదా ఒక ప్రోగ్రామ్ లైన్ ఆర్ సెట్ ఆఫ్ లైన్స్ ని రిపీటెడ్ గా ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేస్తూ ఉంటే దాన్ని ఇటరేటివ్ అంటారు. ఇఫ్ కండిషన్స్ తో అలాంటి ఇటరేటివ్స్ ఉంటారు. So if condition just validate the control whether if it is true or false. If it is true, it enters into the block only once. But in the while, when the while is true, it keeps on entering into the block. It lets the control always to enter into the block until the condition is false. ఇప్పుడు ఈ వైల్ కండిషన్ ఇక్కడ ఫాల్స్ అయ్యేంత వరకు అది జరుగుతూనే ఉంటుంది దిస్ కండిషన్. సో దిస్ లూప్ విల్ హ్యాపెన్ till the condition is false. So, okay, if the condition is always true in the sense, that is a live statement. If the condition is always false means that is a dead statement. Condition false అయితే ఒకసారి కూడా ఎంటర్ కాదు బ్లాక్ లోకి. కండిషన్ ట్రూ అయితే బ్లాక్ లోకి ఎంటర్ అవుతుంది, అడ్జస్ట్మెంట్ చేస్తుంది, అగైన్ ఇట్ విల్ గో ఫర్ ద కండిషన్. అడ్జస్ట్మెంట్ చేసిన తర్వాత వాల్యూ చెక్ చేయాలి కదా. ఓకే, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇఫ్ ఐఎమ్ స్టార్టింగ్ ఎట్ వాల్యూ 10, ఇఫ్ మై ఇనిషియల్ వాల్యూ ఇస్ 10, ఐ నీడ్స్ టు గో అప్ టు 20, 10 నుంచి 20 వరకు వెళ్ళాలి. ఇనిషియల్ వాల్యూ 10 ఇస్తాను అండ్ ఎవ్రీ టైమ్ కండిషన్ చెక్ చేస్తాను ఇఫ్ ఇనిషియల్ ఇస్ లెస్ దెన్ ఆర్ ఈక్వల్స్ 20 ఆర్ నాట్ అని. వాట్స్ మై కండిషన్? If initial value is less than or equals to 20, that is my condition. Whether if it is true or false. So what is the initial value we have there? That 10. Okay, 10 is initial value, and that should go up to the last. What is the last here? I said 20. So 10 means start out 20 work well. How to write the condition then? Initial less than or equals 20. Then you can make adjustment for that initial value. So you have to do initial plus plus. So from 10 it will go to 11. Adjustment up to 11 అవుతుంది. Then the 11 should be checked with the condition again. ఆ 11 మళ్ళీ condition తో చెక్ అవుతుంది. So 11 less than or equals 20. Then true కదా? True అయితే బ్లాక్ లోకి ఎంటర్ అవుతుంది. అడ్జస్ట్మెంట్ ఇప్పుడు 11 ని 12 చేస్తుంది. 12 less than or equals 20. Similarly 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. The last iteration 20. Okay, 20 less than or equals 20, which is a true. Then it enters into the block. Then it makes adjustment for that. Adjustment is. So then that 20 becomes 21 here. Again it go for the condition check. Now 21 is less than or equals 20. 21 less than or equals 20. That is a false statement. So when the condition is false, it just skips the execution of this block of while. The block of while will be terminated by the condition. So who will terminate the while loop? The while loop condition makes to terminate the loop. The conditional loop terminate చేస్తుంది. Okay, so here the block of code goes here and రాశాను కదా. The block of code here happens for multiple times and number of times. So I just give you an example like 10 to 20. Might be in some projects we will be having 500 iterations as well. Of course మేము APSSDC ఒక ప్రాజెక్ట్ చేసాము. సో ఆ ప్రాజెక్ట్ లో మేమైతే మినిమం ఒక అంటే సర్టెన్ కండిషన్స్ లో ఒక 500-600 టైమ్స్ కూడా లూప్ చేస్తూ ఉంటాం. 1 నుంచి స్టార్ట్ చేసి ఒక 600 వరకు. డిపెండ్స్ అనమాట, డిపెండ్స్ ఆన్ ద సిచ్యువేషన్. బట్ నాట్ మోర్ దాన్ దట్ 500. అంతకు మించి చేస్తే ప్రోగ్రామ్ పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ రెడ్యూస్ అయిపోతుంది. ఓకే, మాక్సిమం as of my knowledge, నా నాలెడ్జ్ ప్రకారం నేను ఇప్పుడు వర్క్ చేసిన మాక్సిమం ఇటరేషన్స్ ఆఫ్ లూప్ లో 500 ఇన్ మై ప్రాజెక్ట్స్. ఆ ప్రాక్టికల్లీ ఆ ప్రాజెక్ట్ లో నేను యూజ్ చేసింది ఇప్పుడు దాకా 500. ప్రోగ్రామ్ రావచ్చు 1000 వరకు, ప్రాబ్లం ఏం లేదు. బట్ అదే ప్రోగ్రామ్ ని ప్రాజెక్ట్ లో పెట్టినప్పుడు ప్రాజెక్ట్ లో సర్వర్స్ ఉంటాయి. ఆ సర్వర్ లో మనం డిప్లాయ్ చేస్తాం మన ప్రోగ్రామ్స్. మేబీ ఆ టైంలో నెట్వర్క్ లేటెన్సీ ఉండొచ్చు, సర్వర్ ఎక్కువ టైం తీసుకోవచ్చు కంప్లీట్ చేయడానికి. అప్పుడు యూజర్స్ కి స్లో అయిపోతుంది. So due to some performance issues, we used to avoid such type of more number of iterations in the projects. Okay, so maximum I have used in my projects is that is 500, not more than that. Yes. Okay, so did you understand this while? Now let us see an example on this while loop. Okay, so we'll declare a class now. Class network controls that which shows the demo of while class while demo. Okay, now let us take an initial value. We'll say x. X is our initial. If I might have assigned 7, and I'll take the end value. The end is n. Now x has to reach the n. Assume that n is 80, not big number. Okay, 18. Okay, x is 7 and n is 18 here. Now I would like to perform some iterations from 7 to 18. 7 నుంచి 18 వరకు కొన్ని iterations ని perform చేయాలి. I would like to make a loop here. Initialization అయిపోయింది కదా, x equal to 7 is the initialization for starting index and for ending index. So this is going to be the start and this is going to be the end. So మీకు అలాగే ఇస్తా ఉండండి, మీకు క్లియర్గా అర్థమవుతుంది. Start equal to 7 and is equal to 18. Now the start has to reach to the end. The start అనే ఒక వేరియబుల్ end కి రీచ్ అవ్వాలి. Meanwhile it has to show all the values. 7 నుంచి 18 వరకు అన్ని values డిస్ప్లే చేయాలి. Right? A while loop. Then the condition. What about this condition? Start less than or equals 18. Start less than or equals 18. So that is 7 less than or equals 18 here. So start less than or equals end. That end is going to be the 18 and the start is 7. Now in the system.out.println sysout, you can just show here the value of start. Okay, so you can display the value of start here. Value of start, and after that we'll make start plus plus. Start plus plus. So what is the start plus plus? This is called adjustment, and these are initializations. This is your while loop and this one. So this entire part is going to be the block of code. Even the adjustment is also the part of block of code. ఈ బ్లాక్ లో adjustment ఒక part. If you put this adjustment after the while తర్వాత ఈ adjustment పెడితే మీకు ఒక ప్రాబ్లం వస్తుంది. The start will always be 7. అది ఎప్పటికీ 7 ఉండిపోతుంది start plus plus పెట్టకపోతే. సో 7 8 అవ్వాలి, 8 9 అవ్వాలి, 9 10 అవ్వాలి, అలాగా 18 వరకు రావాలి. 18 less than or equal to 18 వరకు ట్రూ అవుతుంది. 18 less than or equals 18 వరకు ట్రూ. When it becomes 19 after 18, then 19 less than or equals 18 అప్పుడు false అయిపోతుంది. When if it is false, you can just show in the system.out.println. Now in the system.out.println, now we can show at the last here, this is end. So when it comes to the end కి ఎప్పుడు వస్తుంది ప్రోగ్రామ్? 7 దగ్గర స్టార్ట్ అయ్యి 18 వరకు ఇటరేట్ అవుతుంది. It makes loop from 7 to 18 and every time it shows the value of start. Initially the start is 7 and if you do 7 plus plus, that would be 8. After the adjustment the control will shift to the condition again. After every adjustment it will make condition check. So first start చేసి condition check చేస్తుంది. Next adjustment చేసిన ప్రతిసారి కూడా condition check చేస్తుంది. So just try to execute this. Now you can see the values from 7 to 18. Along with that we can also see the output end. So 7 to 18 and you can see the end. If you forget to put this start plus plus, then that is an infinite loop. You can observe. See the infinite loop. Always that is going to be 7. అది ఎప్పటికీ 7 ఉంటుంది. It's not stopping. అది ఆగట్లేదు. ఇన్ఫైనైట్ లూప్. Forcefully I'm stopping this program and uncomment this. I have to put the start plus plus and execute the program. For the same thing, how can I show it in reverse order? ఇప్పుడు 18 నుంచి 7 వరకు రివర్స్ ఆర్డర్ లో చూపించాలి. Then how can I make a condition? So what is the value of start after this loop? ఈ loop తర్వాత value of start ఏమవుతుంది? What is the value of start after this loop? At the end. End లో start value ఏమవుతుంది? Can anyone ping on the chat box? Anyone can answer on the chat box. What is the value of start? What is the value of start after this loop? No answers? Okay. See here. Let me trace this program. If you didn't understand, I'll explain you with the tracing. So what is the start? 7. And what is the condition here? 7 less than or equals 7 less than or equals 18. If it is a true or false condition, definitely that is a true condition. అది ట్రూ అయింది కాబట్టి సిస్టంలోకి ఎంటర్ అవుతుంది. system.out.println ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేసి. సో ఇన్ ద system.out.println ఫర్ ప్రింట్ వాట్ ఇట్ ఇస్ ప్రింటింగ్? ఏం ప్రింట్ చేస్తుంది? స్టార్ట్ వాల్యూ. వాట్ ఇస్ ద ప్రెసెంట్ స్టార్ట్ వాల్యూ? 7. Okay, so then it makes plus plus. Start ni plus plus చేస్తుంది. Now the start is 8. 8 less than or equals 18. Second time here 8 less than or equals 18. The condition is true and it prints the start value. Now the current start value is 8. The current start value is 8. Again plus plus, again plus plus, then 9 here. 9 less than or equals 18. Condition is true. Then we can print 9. Again plus plus, again plus plus here. Now the 9 becomes 10. 10 less than or equals 18. Of course the condition is true. It's a true condition. Then it prints 10. So like this loop will continue the process. It will continue the process till up to what? Plus plus, comma, 18 less than or equals 18. Of course this is also true condition. Then it prints 18 here. So starts from 7, 8, 9, 10, so on, 18. Then again it goes for plus plus after the 18. Now this time the value is 19. 19 less than or equals 18, which is a false. 19 less than or equals 18, which is a false. So it will not take the block execution now. If it won't take the block execution, system.out.println will not happen. And start plus plus also will not happen. Both of them will not be worked. ఈ 2 statements ఇప్పుడు జరగవు ఎందుకంటే if condition false అయింది కాబట్టి Because of that is a false. So hope it is clear now. Okay. And let us do one more program on this while loop. Now we'll write a program to display the stars like this. Star, 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 star. Again, star, 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 star. Okay. How many columns we have? 5 columns. And how many rows? 4 rows. 5 columns and 4 rows. Okay. And try to assign indexes for this. Assume that the first one is 0, 0, the second 1, third 2, and the third one 3. Okay. So this is the first row, second row, third row, and fourth row. If you want, you can start from 1 also. Then 0 తీసుకున్నాను మీరు 1 కూడా తీసుకోవచ్చు అప్పుడు 1 2 3 4 వస్తాయి. Next, how many columns we have here? We have 5 columns. 0, 0th column. Next, 1 column. Then 2, then 3, and then 4. Okay. Just divide this program into rows. First row, second row, third row, and fourth row. So total how many rows we have? 4 rows. How many iterations we have to make for now? 4 iterations. Okay. In every iteration, how many stars you need to display? 5 stars. So ఇప్పుడు ఈ ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఏం చేస్తారంటే బ్లూప్ రాసి system.out.println 5 stars display చేస్తారు అంతేనా? Not at all. Okay. Let me show you that approach. Actually, if I might have increased the value, number of columns in a value increase చేస్తే నాకు మళ్ళీ అన్ని స్టార్స్ రావాలి without changing modifications to the source code. I mean to the logic. లాజిక్ కి మోడిఫికేషన్స్ చేయకుండా జస్ట్ నాకు కాలమ్ అనే ఒక వేరియబుల్ వాల్యూని ఇంక్రీజ్ చేస్తే నాకు ఆటోమేటిక్ గా నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ కాలమ్స్ పెరిగిపోవాలి స్టార్స్. అండ్ రోస్ అనే ఒక వేరియబుల్ వాల్యూ పెంచితే ఆటోమేటిక్ గా రోస్ కూడా నాకు ఇంక్రీజ్ అయిపోవాలి. రైట్. సో ఇది ఒక లూప్. ట్రై టు మేక్ ఏ లూప్ హియర్ దట్ ఈస్ కాల్ లూప్ ఐ అనే ఒక లూప్ తీసుకోండి. So I loop is used to make row to row. It makes row iterations. Row iterations అన్ని ఎవరు కేర్ చేసుకుంటారు? I loop. And one more loop we have to write here that is called J loop. The J loop will show you the number of columns. I will show you the rows and J will show you the columns. For one I iteration, we have to make 5 J iterations. ఒక ఐటరేషన్ లో 5 J iterations జరగాలి. Now the J should be the part of I. That means J is a nested loop which is situated in the I loop. I will just show you the example. Sorry. I'm just creating a class here, stars using while. I can just create int rows. How many rows would you like to display? If I put 5 columns, assume that 5. Okay. And along with this, we need to take an I 0 as well as j. J should, you can declare the j within the while loop. No need to declare it outside of the while. We can declare it within the I loop. And so any other variables required for this program? I don't think so. So rows, columns, and I. So internally we are going to declare the j. Now let us start your while. So already we have already initializers. Initializations are already over here. Okay. Now I has to go for how many rows? So I less than or equals or less than I less than rows. That means 0 less than 5. Now how many iterations it can make? So ఇప్పుడు ఇది ఎన్ని iterations చూపిస్తుంది? Definitely it will show you 5 iterations. Starts from 0 to 5. Starts from 0 and 0 to 5. It can make that many iterations for you now. So now in every I iteration we should have to make multiple j iterations. Okay, I iteration lo multiple j iterations జరగాలి. Now I need to declare int j is equal to 0. I would like to start the j again from 0. Now internally I'm writing one more while loop. This is called nested while loop. I'm writing a nested while loop here. While j less than or equals columns. అంతే కదా? ఎన్ని కాలమ్స్ డిస్ప్లే చేయాలి? 5 కాలమ్స్. అది ఎవరు చెప్తున్నారు? కాలమ్స్ వేరియబుల్. Okay, so less than columns, j less than columns. Just open the j. Here you have to show the star. ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ స్టార్ చూపించాలి. Star space. And no need to use println. Println అంటే న్యూ లైన్ లో డిస్ప్లే చేస్తున్నాడు. Print method will display in the same line. So ఒకే రో లో స్టార్స్ సేమ్ రోలో రావాలి, డిఫరెంట్ రోలో రావాలి. మనకు సేమ్ రోలో రావాలి కదా, సేమ్ రోలో రావాలి కాబట్టి ప్రింట్ మెథడ్ యూస్ చేస్తున్నాం, బట్ నాట్ యూజింగ్ println here. After displaying this row we have to make సో ఇప్పుడు స్టార్ వచ్చిన తర్వాత ఏం చేయాలి? j++ చేయాలి కదా. j 0 నుంచి 1 కి వెళ్ళాలి, 1 నుంచి 2 కి వెళ్ళాలి, 2 నుంచి 3 కి వెళ్ళాలి, 3 నుంచి 4, 4 నుంచి 5 అలా వెళ్తూ ఉండాలి. వెళ్ళాలంటే దానికి ఒక డ్రైవర్ కావాలి. ఈ డ్రైవరే అడ్జస్ట్మెంట్, దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ ఇంక్రిమెంట్. ఓకే, ఆఫ్టర్ ఎగ్జిక్యూటింగ్ దిస్ రో, ఒక రో ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేసిన తర్వాత అంటే అక్కడ నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ స్టార్స్ అనేది డిస్ప్లే చేసిన తర్వాత just call system.out.println next line. Very next line should be the system.out.println to break the existing line. Existing line ఏదైతే ఉందో దాన్ని బ్రేక్ చేయడానికి. Now obviously the control will come for the second row. ఇప్పుడు కంట్రోల్ ఎక్కడికి వస్తుంది? సెకండ్ రోకి వచ్చేస్తుంది ఆటోమేటిక్ గా. అంతే కదా? It will come for the second row for sure. Then and you have to make I++. I ని కూడా 0 నుంచి 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5 తీసుకెళ్ళాలి కదా. సో I++, j++. సో once if I is true, ఒకసారి I true అయితే it declares j to 0, j ని 0 గా సెట్ చేస్తుంది అండ్ j iterations చేస్తుంది. Here the 0 less than columns, it is depends on the column, number of columns here, the number of columns what you have specified. Okay, so it starts from the initial, then it go up to this columns, a columns వరకు వెళ్తుంది, then it makes system.out.println with the star, then the j++ will happen automatically after this. Okay, so this is the loop for displaying the stars in every row. ప్రతి ఒక్క రో లో స్టార్స్ ని డిస్ప్లే చేయడానికి యూస్ చేసిన లూప్ ఈ j loop. Then line break, after that I++. Now I will be the second iteration. I ఇప్పుడు సెకండ్ ఇటరేషన్ కి వెళ్తుంది. మళ్ళీ j ని 0 అని స్టార్ట్ చేస్తుంది. ఎవ్రీ టైమ్ ఇట్ హ్యాస్ టు స్టార్ట్ ద j ఫ్రమ్ లెఫ్ట్ టు రైట్. for column number of times, for calls number of times. So if we execute this program, you can see the same kind of pattern. The pattern is here. You can observe the pattern. 5 rows and 5 columns. Suppose if my input is 10, I'll be having 10 columns. Okay, 5 rows and 10 columns per each. And that's your wish. You can input any number. If my input is 100 to 100 rows and 100 columns, I'm going to display now. See, I got 100 rows and 100 columns. Okay, it works for any number. Logic changes data changes. The data should work for any kind of logic. You have to make that type of logics, right? See here. So 15 by 30. This is 15 by 30. Hope it is clear for you. Now I just want to make this stars as triangle. If we stars in a triangle ga change cheyali. I would like to make it as triangle. We'll see the triangle flow. So first star space, sorry, again next to star space star, then star space star space star, then star space star space star space star. ఇప్పుడు ఇలా triangle చూపించాలి. I would like to show a triangle like this. This is an angle triangle. Which angle? Right angle triangle. So this is similar, very similar to the previous approach. In the previous approach, how many stars we are displaying in every row? ఒక్కొక్క row లో ఎన్ని stars display చేస్తున్నాం? ఎన్ని stars చూపిస్తున్నాం? Column number of stars, right? But in the second approach here, we need to display I number of rows. Sorry, I number of columns. And if I is 1, when I is in the first iteration, it has to show 1 star. When I is in the second iteration, it has to show 2 stars. When I is in the third iteration, it has to show 3 stars. When I is 4, then it has to show the 4 stars. So 1 అయితే 1 star. First iteration లో 1 star. Second iteration లో 2 stars. Third iteration లో 3 star. Fourth iteration లో 4 stars. Then what needs to be changed here in this program? So ఈ ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఇప్పుడు ఏం చేంజ్ చేయొచ్చు. I'll take a different class. The right angle triangle. So as usual, we'll declare number of rows. Suppose if our input is 5, and we should have an initial index I is equal to 1. We'll make the initial index as I equal to 1. Let's make a loop for while when I is less than or equals rows. I is less than or equals rows. If I is less than or equals rows, declare another variable within that is called j, and start another loop here, a nested loop within the I, and this time, in the previous example, the j have taken column number of stars. ప్రతిసారి ఎన్ని కాలమ్స్ ఉంటే అన్ని స్టార్స్ ని చూపిస్తుంది. ఇప్పుడు అలా కాదు, I వాల్యూ ఎంత అయితే అన్ని వాల్యూస్ ని అన్ని స్టార్స్ ని చూపించాలి. That is the only change. Previously it is j less than columns, now it is j less than or equals I. That is the only difference. And now in the system.out.print method, in the print method you have to display star then space. star then space. Now you can just simply call j++ here, then the system.out.println, and after this so this is used to break the line. It is for breaking the current line. Yes. And what is here we have left? What is left here? I++. I++ left over. And we are given the I++ also. So instead of displaying column number of stars, we have to display I number of stars. Column number of stars చూపించకుండా I number of stars చూపిస్తే ఆటోమేటిక్ గా లూప్ దానికి మౌల్డ్ అయిపోతుంది. Now execute this program. See here whether we have a right angle triangle or not. Okay. So similarly, we can make reverse order of these while loops as well. While loop ni reverse lo కూడా చేయొచ్చు. So let me explain the previous program with the reverse order. The last program, while demo. So we have the numbers from 7 to 18, but this time I'll display those numbers from 18 to 7. 18 to 7. Of course. So the value of start after this loop is 19. ఎందుకంటే 18 less than or equal to 18 true అయింది. True అయిన తర్వాత start plus 19 అవుతుంది. At 19 less than or equal to 18 it's getting false. At 19 less than or equal to 18 it's getting false. So start 19 అయింది కదా, దాని తర్వాత కదా ఈ వాల్యూ డిస్ప్లే చేస్తుంది. Okay, so obviously the value is going to be 19. So start value 19 అయిపోయింది. ఇప్పుడు మళ్ళీ స్టార్ట్ వాల్యూని రీసెట్ చేయండి. So just try to reset the start value. Just reset the start value again to the 7 here. Start is equal to 7. We need to reset this. Now we'll make the loop in reverse order. While of and the end value. Now we are going to compare with the greater value. And is greater than or equals start. And is greater than or equals start. In the system.out.println, we can display the value of end. Then the end must be adjusted. So end is the largest value, start is the smallest value. This is the big value and this is small value. If you compare the big value with the small value, if the big has to reach to the small, if ఈ value reach అవ్వాలంటే that should be adjusted with decrement. So end minus we have to do here for that. Now we can see the result in reverse order for this. So starts from here 18, 17, 16, 15, so on up to 7. This is the reverse order. So what just happened here? 18 greater than or equal to 7. True or false? True. Then it shows 18. And minus. Now 18 becomes 17. 17 greater than or equals 7. True. Next. N minus. 16 greater than or equals 7. True. N minus. And then 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. Okay. So when it becomes 7 greater than or equal to 7, which is a true, then n minus is 6. Now 6 greater than or equals 7. Whether if it is a false or not, 6 greater than or equals 7, which is a false or not, then there the loop will stop the execution. The loop will be terminated when the end becomes as 6. ఇక్కడ end అనేది 6 అయినప్పుడు టర్మినేట్ అవుతుంది. ప్రీవియస్ అప్రోచ్ లో ఈ స్టార్ట్ వాల్యూ ఎప్పుడైతే 19 అవుతుందో అప్పుడు టర్మినేట్ అవుతుంది. So this is in forward order and the backward order is this one. This is a backward order or reverse order. Okay. So any questions? Loops concepts kada konచెం careful ga vinandi. Any questions? If you don't understand any program, please ping me on the chat box. Okay. No messages so far in the chat box. Right. So this is like how we can manage the while loops. And I have a task here. I just want to display only even numbers. I would like to display only even numbers. Even numbers matram display cheyali. Ela cheyachu. So think cheyandi. Just think yourself. Instead of displaying all the numbers from start to end, I would like to show only even numbers. అన్ని నెంబర్స్ చూపించకుండా ఓన్లీ ఈవెన్ నెంబర్స్ మాత్రం చూపించాలంటే ఎలాగా? So already we have a logic for even numbers. Where we have written that logic? Which class it is? Even or odd, right? This one. Now I'll make use of this method. Check even bool method, and I'll check just whether my number is an even number or not. Okay. So let's access that method. ఇప్పుడు ఆ మెథడ్ యాక్సెస్ చేయొచ్చు. సో ఇప్పుడు ఈ system.out.println అని మనం ఈవెన్ నెంబర్ అయితేనే చూపించాలి. You have to display the value of start when if it is only even number. Now write a if condition. If what is the method there in the even odd class? What's the method name? Check even bool, and it is in which class? Even or odd class. So this is a static method. The check even bool is a static method. So we can access one class static methods to another class directly by the name of the class. ఇప్పుడు క్లాస్ నేమ్ యూస్ చేసుకొని యాక్సెస్ చేయొచ్చు ఈ మెథడ్. అదే ఈ మెథడ్ యాక్సెస్ చేయాలంటే ఆబ్జెక్ట్ క్రియేట్ చేయాలి. ఎందుకంటే సో ఇది కూడా స్టాటిక్ అయినా ఓకే రైట్. ఒక మెథడ్ ని నాన్ స్టాటిక్ పెడదాం. Just make it as non static here. Obviously we'll get some error ఎందుకంటే ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ని యాక్సెస్ చేయాలి కదా. Even odd is equal to new even odd. So even odd dot check it. Okay, that's great. So two even number checking methods we have. One is static, another is non-static. And the static method returns boolean here. The non-static method returns integer. But both of these methods takes an integer only to check whether the number is an even number or not. We'll make use of this method now. I don't want to write the logic again. నేను మళ్ళీ లాజిక్ రాయను. ఈ ఈవెన్ నెంబర్ చెకింగ్ లాజిక్ ఆల్రెడీ మనం చేసేస్తున్నాం కాబట్టి just reuse that logic. So you can just reuse the logic to the while program. Just try to access that. The class name. What is the class name? Even or odd dot check even bool. Even or odd dot check even bool. And just send your number. What's the number would like to check for even? Start number. I would like to check the start number. I'm going to check whether the start number is even number. If the start is an even number, if this number is an even number, the check even bool method returns true or else false. Okay. So once if it returns true, the system.out.println will show you that value when if it is on even number. Otherwise it won't show you the value. and every time it will do a start plus plus. Don't put this start plus plus as a part of this one. ఈ స్టార్ట్ ప్లస్ ప్లస్ ని లోపల పెట్టకూడదు, ఇఫ్ కండిషన్ లో పెట్టకూడదు. ఎందుకంటే ఇది ఎప్పుడు జరుగుతుంది, ఇఫ్ కండిషన్ ఎప్పుడు జరుగుతుంది మనకు, ఓన్లీ వెన్ ఇఫ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ఈవెన్ నెంబర్. ఇది ట్రూ అవ్వాలంటే, ఇది ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవ్వాలంటే ఇది ట్రూ అవ్వాలి, ఇది ట్రూ అవ్వాలంటే అది ఈవెన్ నెంబర్ అయి ఉండాలి. అదే ఆడ్ నెంబర్ వచ్చినప్పుడు మనకు ప్లస్ ప్లస్ జరగదు, అంతే కదా. ఇఫ్ యూ పుట్ ఇట్ ఈస్, ఇఫ్ యూ పుట్ దిస్ అడ్జస్ట్మెంట్ within the if condition, within the if condition, if you put this statement, then this will not be executed for odd numbers. ఇది odd numbers కి execute కాదు. సో ఇప్పుడు 7 8 అవ్వాలంటే is there any scope? No. That's why just write it outside of the if condition. Now see the program. Here we can show only even numbers 8 10 12 14 16 18, 7 నుంచి 18 వరకు even numbers చూపిస్తుంది. Just reusing the logic what we had done in the previous. Okay, so no messages. Okay, no questions for now, right? So hope you are clear about this while loops. Now let me explain you the do while loop. The next loop is do while loop. Now let us do the do while. Do while loop. For while condition, for while loops, the control, the program control can enter into the loop body, the body of the loop. It enters into the body of the loop when only the condition becomes true. So condition true aitane loop body lo enter avutundi. But in the do while it is going to be different, like while will not carry the block here, but the do will carry the block. The block of code will be done in the do and followed by while declaration. So in the while declaration we can put some condition. This condition we can put it in the while, and in the do block you can have the block of code. The block of code will go here, the block of code along with the adjustment. The adjustment might be increment or decrement. Now the behavioral changes between the do while and while ki do while ki chinna behavior change untundi. That behavior is the do block will be executed for the first time without checking the condition. First time ఈ do block execute అయిపోతుంది కండిషన్ తో పని లేకుండా, కండిషన్ తో సంబంధం లేకుండానే do block execute అవుతుంది డైరెక్ట్ గా. Okay, but in the normal while loop, without checking this condition it won't enter into the block. But in the do while block, regardless of condition, it will not bother about the condition for the first time, only for the first time. First time it enters into the block. First time this will be executed whether the condition is, either the condition can maybe the true or false. It can be a true or false condition. Definitely the do block will be executed for sure, and no need to bother about this condition for the first time. Right from the second time, the do block execution depends on this condition. So here we have to put a semicolon for your while loop. Please observe here. I'm putting a semicolon for the while. while కి semicolon పెట్టాలి ఇక్కడ. But normal while loop we should not put the semicolon. Only for the do while you have to put the semicolon. Okay. So while of some condition, the condition is true, then second time it enters into the do block. Again, if the condition is true, then third time it enters into the block. If condition is true, the fourth time it enters. Till the condition is false, the do block will be executed by the while. Do block execute చేస్తుంది ఎవరు while condition false అయినంత వరకు. But first time loop while condition false అయినా కూడా do block ఖచ్చితంగా execute అవుతుంది first time. Second time నుంచి ఏంటంటే while condition మీద డిపెండ్ అయి ఉంటుంది the execution of do. That is the only difference. Create a class for this. We'll show you a demo program on the do while. I'll be taking a v at the value as 100. Let me write a do. Then the do block followed by a while here. Now I'm going to do here v++ is greater than, sorry, v++ is less than or equals, wait. So what's the value of v here? 100. That is 100. 100 less than or equals 99. 100 less than or equals 99. Absolutely it's a false condition. It is false type. But first time execute of them. For the first time definitely that will be executed for sure. Okay. Let me display the value of b. Then I'll make it as v++. Okay, so v++ here. The v++ will take the value to the next position. Okay, so 100 is not at all less than or equals 99. Not at all less than or equals 99. But you can see the value 100 for the first time. For the first time you can see the value 100 over here. So the do, I told you the do block will be executed for sure without checking the condition. Okay, for the first time, for the first iteration. Okay, iteration 1 లో ఉన్నప్పుడు దీంతో సంబంధం లేకుండా, సరే ఈ కండిషన్ తో సంబంధం లేకుండా ఈ do block execute అవుతుంది. For the second time if you would like to execute the do block, the condition must be satisfied. Okay, condition satisfied కాకపోతే end కి వచ్చేస్తుంది. Directly it will come for end. Now see the output. It shows 100, right? Then end. And for example, if it is 102 to 102, how many iterations will happen now? Without condition checking, first do will be executed, then the do will take the value of b from 100 to 101. Now 101 less than or equals 102. True కాబట్టి second iteration. Now it shows 101 here, and 101 becomes 102. So 102 less than or equals 102. That is also true. Then it shows 102 here. Next v++. Then 102 becomes 103. So 103 less than or equals 102. False. False అయిపోయింది కాబట్టి ఇంకా do అయిపోతుంది execution. Okay. Now how many iterations happens for this? First iteration for sure, that is 100. 100 iteration condition తో సంబంధం లేకుండా వస్తుంది. Next 101 వస్తుంది, 102 వస్తుంది. So you can see 100, 101 and 102. 100, 101, 102, and then end. It comes for end after that. Okay. So that is a do while block. So we can write do whiles like this, and the behavior of do while is this one. That is the behavior of a do while. Next, We'll discuss the for loop. I can say this is the most comfortable loop because in the for loop everything will be will everything will be done in the same line, like initialization, the initialization and semicolon, next the condition, next adjustment. So all these declarations will take place in a single line only. Within the single line we can declare all these things. So no need to put initialization before, and no need to bother about the adjustment and the condition one place, condition in one place, adjustment in another place, and initialization in some other place. No need to bother about like that. Just you can have the initialization first and followed by a condition and followed by adjustment. Okay, and with the for loops you can make infinite loops like this. So for of semicolon semicolon, this is an infinite loop, no condition, no initialization and no adjustment, always that is going to be true. Then this is going to be an infinite loop, an infinite loop with for loop. Okay, let us see a program. It's quite simple here with for loop. So int I is equal to 1 I'm going to declare, and I less than or is equal to, let us take some value 20, then I plus plus. See, this is the initialization part, and this is condition checking part, and this is incrementation part. Then in the sysout, you can just show the value of I. So that's over. So no need to put I plus plus again, because if you put I plus plus, initial I starts 1 దగ్గర స్టార్ట్ అవుతుంది. 1 less than or equal to 20 ట్రూ అయింది. ట్రూ అయిన తర్వాత I వాల్యూ డిస్ప్లే చేస్తుంది 1 అని. After that it will go for I plus plus. I plus plus will be 2. Even after this I plus plus, another I plus plus will be happen. దీని తర్వాత మళ్ళీ ఇది కూడా జరుగుతుంది, ఎందుకంటే the flow of for loop is like this. For I equal to 0, I less than equal to 20, then I plus plus. Suppose we have line 1 and assume that we have some other line 2. So on like this we can have any number of lines like this. Now if you see the flow of this program, first initialization, then condition check. The initial value will be checked with the condition. Okay, so if it is true, if the condition is true, then enters into the block, executes the line 1. Automatically it executes the next line, that is line 2. After reaching to the last line, the control will just shift to the I plus plus automatically. Again it will not go for initialization. It will not go for initialization again. Initialization ఒకసారి జరుగుతుంది. Initialization, condition check, and from the next time adjustment, then the adjusted value will be checked with the condition. Adjustment చేసి condition check చేసి again if it is true enters into the block. మళ్ళీ I plus plus check with the condition, again enters into the block, again I plus plus checks the condition. Okay, like this. First initialization, then condition check. Thereon increment, condition check, increment, condition check, increment, condition check. It happens like that. Okay, that usually happens like that. So that is the flow of the for loop here. But in this program now, if you have multiple I plus plus, your I iteration will be shifted. సో I 1 నుంచి 2 ఇటరేషన్స్ రావాలి. 2 కాకుండా డైరెక్ట్గా 3కి వెళ్ళిపోతుంది. ఎందుకంటే 2 టైమ్స్ I ప్లస్ ప్లస్ చేస్తుంది. ఇక్కడ 2 అయిపోతుంది. ఆ 2 ఇక్కడ 3 అయిపోతుంది. సో డైరెక్ట్గా ఇప్పుడు కంపేర్ చేసేటప్పుడు 2తో కంపేర్ చేయాలి. 3 లెస్ దెన్ ఆర్ ఈక్వల్స్ టు 20తో కంపేర్ చేస్తుంది. అలా మనకి ఎన్ని ఇటరేషన్స్ వస్తాయి ఈ 20లో? 10 వస్తాయి, అంతే కదా. 1 2 3, 3 నుంచి 4 స్కిప్ చేసి 5కి వెళ్తుంది. 5 నుంచి 6ని స్కిప్ చేసి 7కి వెళ్తుంది. సో నెక్స్ట్ 7 to 9, 9 to 11, 11 to 13, 13 to 15, and 15 to 17, 17 to 19. సో దెన్ ఓవర్. సో అలాగా టోటల్గా 10 iterations ని పర్ఫామ్ చేస్తుంది. So that's why no need to put any I++ here. And if you'd like to go for each and every iteration, ప్రతి ఒక్క iteration ని, ప్రతి ఒక్క flow ని మీరు చెక్ చేసుకోవాలనుకుంటే, make sure the I++, leave the I++ here. Don't make it as a part of your body. మన బాడీలో పెట్టుకుంటే ఇక్కడే పెట్టేసుకుంటే బెస్ట్. Okay. So now it's very quite simple. It's very easy. Okay. Now let us do a program on this for loop. Using the for loop, we'll do a program. Let me give you the output. Output is చూడండి. I would like to display hash, then a hash, and a hash. Next, hash, hash, hash. Again, okay, and then again. I would like to show the output like this. ఇలా ఒక output రావాలి. See, if you can observe here, in every row we have 3 hashes. The 3 row 3 hashes ఉన్నాయి. ఇది ఫస్ట్ రో, ఇది సెకండ్ రో, ఇది థర్డ్ రో. థర్డ్ రోకి మళ్ళీ స్పేస్ లేదు. ఫోర్త్ రోకి స్పేస్ ఉంది, ముందు ఒక స్పేస్ యాడ్ చేస్తుంది. అండ్ సిక్స్త్ రోకి ఒక స్పేస్. సో సెకండ్ రో, ఫోర్త్ రో అండ్ సిక్స్త్ రో, ఈ రోస్కి మాత్రమే స్పేసెస్ యాడ్ చేస్తుంది. That means even rows. The even row should get a space before displaying the hashes. Hashes display చేసేటప్పుడే, చేసే ముందే, ఓకే, వీటిని చేయడానికి ముందే మనం ఏం చేయాలంటే ఒక స్పేస్ని డిస్ప్లే చేయాలి. And you need to calculate whether the iteration is an even iteration or not. When if it is the even iteration, you have to leave a space. Otherwise, you should not give any space. Even iteration అయితేనే స్పేస్ ఇవ్వాలి. Odd iteration అయితే స్పేస్ అవసరం లేదు. Okay, let us do the program. Sorry. Hashes. Okay, first of all, we'll declare how many rows would you like to have. I would like to have 6 rows, and no need to set the initial value. There, at the time of declaring the for loop, we can have the initialization can be done here. We can't use this type of signature for loops in the C language, but we can use it for Java. జావాలో ఎక్కడ కావాలంటే అక్కడ డిక్లేర్ చేసుకోవచ్చు వేరియబుల్స్. బట్ సి లాంగ్వేజ్ లో రెస్ట్రిక్షన్స్ ఉంటాయి, టాప్ లోనే డిక్లేర్ చేయాలి. ఓకే, int I is equal to I start at 1, I less than or is equal to the rows, then I plus plus. If I is a even number, I have to leave a space. If I is a even number, if I modulus 2 double equals to 0, అంతే కదా. If I is a even number, the system.out.print method, in the print method, just leave a space like this. ఒక స్పేస్ ఇచ్చేసాను. So if I is a even number, we're just leaving a space for that. And now you have to write one more loop to display the number of hashes. Hashes display చేయడానికి ఇంకో loop కావాలి. Assume that j is equal to 0, and we need to make columns also here. I'm going to make 6 columns. So initially j is equal to 1, j less than or is equal to columns, and j plus plus. Sorry, forget to declare the j here. No issues. Now display system.out.println. So you can display any number of hashes. A hash space. This is also print method. ఎందుకంటే ఈ స్పేస్ హ్యాషెస్ ఒకే లైన్ లో రావాలి కదా, అందుకని ప్రింట్ మెథడ్ వాడుతున్నాను, ప్రింట్ ఎల్ఎన్ వాడట్లేదు. ఆఫ్టర్ దిస్ వీ కెన్ యూజ్ ద system.out.println. Then you can use print element. After displaying the space and after displaying the hashes, then you can call the print element to break the line. The current line will be break then. Okay, so the program is over. So we have declared a rows variable and columns variable, making rows number of iterations for I, and finding whether the current row is an even row or not. If it is even row, adding a space before displaying the hashes. After displaying all this stuff, after displaying ఇది అయిపోయిందను ఎంత హ్యాండ్ ఇస్తున్నాయి చూడు ఒక్కొక్కటి. హలో
Muted.
Yeah, so got a technical issue. Okay, no worries now. So rows equal to 6 and columns equal 6 here, and we're having 6 number of rows, and finding whether the current row is an even row or not. If it is even row, we are adding a space before displaying the hashes, then we can call the break line. Now see the output for this program. You see the same structure, right? So leaving a space for the even row, second row, for the fourth row, for the sixth row. Okay, so clear about this. So what I do is I'll try to add some flow controls programs also to the website. So you can just have a look at the website for the list of programs for assignments on operators and flow controls. Just practice those programs, and still there is some 30 minutes left for us today. So that's all about the while loop, do while loop, and for loop. Yeah, already I have given the video link also, SV Degree College. So that is corenuts.com/videos.php. Yeah, okay. So corenuts.com/videos.php. The video, the link name. That is a video link. Yes. So right, now we are done with the flow controls. Yeah, no problem. Thank you. And now let us discuss for dynamic input, like how to take the inputs dynamically from the user using Java program. Okay, we will discuss the dynamic inputs. Let me save this stuff. Now let us discuss a class called scanner class. Scanner. Okay, this is for reading inputs dynamically. Yeah, the scanner class here. This is used to read the inputs dynamically. So first of all, the scanner class. This is a class belongs to Java's util package. జావాలో యుటిల్ అనే ఒక ప్యాకేజ్ ఉంటుంది. ఆ యుటిల్ ప్యాకేజ్ లో ఇది ఒక క్లాస్ అన్నమాట. దానిలో సెట్ ఆఫ్ క్లాసెస్ ఉంటాయి. సో దెర్ ఆర్ లాట్ ఆఫ్ క్లాసెస్. ఓకే, in the util package, and scanner is one of the class in the util package. So this is the class belongs to Java's util package. Second one, this class contains some utility methods. This class some contains utility methods to read inputs like integer, and float, double, string, okay, and boolean. But there is no specific method for reading a character. The character should be read in a tricky way. Okay, I'll speak about that one also. So the way, like first of all, so how to use the scanner class? First, import the package. Which package? Little package. And no need to import the little package specifically. Entire little package also లేదు. Specifically scanner class. From that, స్పెసిఫిక్ గా అక్కడ నుంచి స్కానర్ క్లాస్ మాత్రం రీడ్ చేస్తే చాలు, ఇంపోర్ట్ చేస్తే చాలు. నెక్స్ట్, then create object to the scanner class. Scanner class object create చేయాలి by passing the input stream as an argument. By passing system.in as an argument. by passing system.in as an argument to the constructor of scanner class. So scanner class object create చేసినప్పుడు ఆ కన్స్ట్రక్టర్ లో ఒక పారామీటర్ పాస్ చేయాలి, అదే system.in పారామీటర్. ఆర్గ్యుమెంట్ పాస్ చేస్తే చాలు system.in ఆటోమేటిక్గా స్కానర్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ క్రియేట్ అయిపోతుంది. Then you can make a call to the specific utility methods. Suppose if you are reading integer, for integers, we have to call a method called next int method. Integers read చేయడానికి next int, double read చేయడానికి next double. To read the doubles, you can call the method next double. For reading strings, just call the method next. Strings in read చేయడానికి next method call చేయండి. For boolean, next boolean. For booleans, we can call the method next boolean. For float, as usual, next float. But for character, there is no next character. Next character అలాంటి లేవు. character ని ఇంకొక వేలో యాక్సెస్ చేయాలి. So first of all, we'll try to do this, then we'll go for the character, how to read the characters. First ఇవన్నీ పర్ఫామ్ చేద్దాం, నెక్స్ట్ characters వెళ్దాం. Create the package first. APSSDC dot dynamic inputs class. I'm creating a class called scanner demo to show you the scanner class, about the scanner class. First thing, what you have to do here, import java dot util dot which class you'd like to have, which class would like to include here. See, there are a lot of classes in this util. See the list of classes, so many classes, right? Of all these classes, we require a class called scanner. Here is your class, scanner class. Select that. So ఇప్పుడు అర్థమైందా ఐడియాస్ యూజ్ చేస్తే అడ్వాంటేజెస్ ఏంటో. ఇదే సజెషన్స్ మీకు నోట్ప్యాడ్లో వస్తాయి. అలా సజెషన్స్ మీకు సపోజ్ మీకు ఒక క్లాస్ నేమ్ గుర్తులేదు, మర్చిపోయారు, అది ప్యాకేజ్లో ఉంటుందని తెలుసు. ఆ ప్యాకేజ్ నేమ్ ఇచ్చి డాట్ ఇవ్వగానే ఆటోమేటిక్గా మీకు సజెషన్స్, లిస్ట్ ఆఫ్ సజెషన్స్ వచ్చేస్తుంది. యూ కెన్ ఈజీలీ ఇంక్లూడ్ ద క్లాస్ విచ్ యూ కెన్ రిమైండ్ పార్షియల్గా రిమైండ్ చేసుకున్న క్లాస్ నేమ్ కూడా మనకు గుర్తొచ్చేస్తుంది. Okay, so what is the class? Scanner. Importing the scanner class. Then you have to create object అని చెప్పాను కదా. First you have to create object for the scanner. Object ఎలా క్రియేట్ చేయాలో మీకు తెలుసు. ఓకే, సో జస్ట్ ఒక ఆబ్జెక్ట్ నేమ్ ఇచ్చాను, ఇన్పుట్ INP అని. మీరు ఏదేమని ఇవ్వచ్చు, నో ఇష్యూస్. న్యూ స్కానర్ of what is the argument to this? System.in. System.out means that shows the output. System.in. Now your scanner object will be created with the input stream object so that it reads input from the user dynamically. Okay, now let us read the values one by one. Sysout. Enter your name. Okay, enter your name. Name and a string kadandi. We'll create a string variable n to show the name. And what is our object here? Scanner class object name is, what is the scanner class object name? INP dot, and the method what you have to use, next method. So we should have to use the next method over there. So the next method here returns the name of the name which we user have entered. The next method ఏం చేస్తుంది, ఒక string return చేస్తుంది. The string is user entered value, and the user entered string will be stored in the n అనే variable లో store అవుతుంది, because next method returns that to the n variable. And sysout, enter your age. The age is going to be integer, int age is equal to input dot, we have to use a method called next int. method called next int here, because about to read an integer. How to read the integers? By calling the method next int. And how to read the strings? By calling the method next. Next, sys out enter your percentage. To read the percentage, okay, for percentage we'll make it as double percentage, and input dot next double. What's the method? To read the double we have to use next double. Then that is going to be followed by sys out uh, whether you are a graduate. So here we have to enter either true or false. True or false and enter చేయాలి. For that I'll take a boolean, some boolean variable grad and create చేస్తాం. Okay, is equal to input dot next boolean. What's the method name? Next boolean. So reading the string here, reading integer, reading double. Similarly you can read the float as well. Next, reading the boolean, sys out for a character. Okay, first we'll execute up to this. ఇంతవరకు ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేద్దాం, తర్వాత క్యారెక్టర్ చేద్దాం. Sys out your details are as follows. సో మీ డీటెయిల్స్ ఇలా ఉన్నాయని చెప్తున్నాను. So what are the values entered by the user? So let us show the value after this. So user enter this values అని ఇప్పుడు చూపిద్దాం. Sys out name. In which variable we have stored the name? In which variable? In string variable, the variable name is n. Name n. Then sys out. Now we are about to show the age. That is age. Next, sys out percentage. That is percent variable. Next, sys out graduate. So that has to show either true or false, and we have the result in the grad variable. The grad variable is a boolean variable. You are supposed to enter either true or false for this grad. Okay, let us execute this program. So enter your name first. We enter so I'm supposed to enter true here, but not false. Okay, and my details are as follows. Okay, details are as follows: name, age, percentage, and graduate true. Okay, so how about this? So this is pretty interesting, right? Reading dynamic inputs. So like the scanner is nothing but like reading the inputs from the user dynamically, and the scanner is an utility class. That utility class consists of some utility methods for reading the string and for reading the integer, for reading the double and for reading the boolean, like this. And also we can make next float for reading the float. Now the character, when it comes to the character, let us work out on the character now. For characters, actually you're supposed to read it like a string. ఇప్పుడు ఒక character ని string లాగా read చేద్దాం. Enter a character. డెఫినెట్లీ ఆఫ్టర్ దిస్ మెసేజ్, ఈ మెసేజ్ తర్వాత సైకలాజికల్ గా ఎవరైనా కూడా ఒక క్యారెక్టర్ ఎంటర్ చేయడానికి ట్రై చేస్తారు. లెట్ us take, if I enter the character as T, if my input is T, నేను T అనే క్యారెక్టర్ ఎంటర్ చేశాను. ఇప్పుడు ఈ T ని మనం ఒక స్ట్రింగ్ లాగా రీడ్ చేద్దాం బై యూజింగ్ నెక్స్ట్ మెథడ్ తో రీడ్ చేద్దాం. దెన్ ఇట్ రిటర్న్స్ ద T యాజ్ ఎ స్ట్రింగ్, అంతేనా? అందుకే డబుల్ కోట్స్ యూజ్ చేశాను. The double quote literals are the string literals. So reading the T as a string. Now I am going to get the character from the string. ఇప్పుడు ఈ string నుంచి ఒక క్యారెక్టర్ తీసుకురావడానికి ట్రై చేస్తున్నాం. And user ఒక క్యారెక్టర్ ఎంటర్ చేశాడు. And you know, for strings also there are some indexes like arrays లాగా strings కూడా indexes ఉంటాయి. The first character index is going to be 0. First character index 0 ఉంటుంది. Now how can you get a character from the specific position from a string? How can you get a character from the given index? ఒక ఇండెక్స్ ఇచ్చిన దగ్గర నుంచి ఒక ఇండెక్స్ యూజ్ చేసి ఒక క్యారెక్టర్ని ఎలా తీసుకురావాలి ఒక స్ట్రింగ్ లో? Then we have to use a method for that. That method is char@, method that takes an index. That index is integer and you should have to pass integer index for this caret. And you can access this caret method by using string variable or string object. Only by using string variable or string object you can access this caret method. Caret method is a method of string class. That's why string object is required for calling the caret method, and it takes some index in integer. ఇప్పుడు నా ఇండెక్స్ 0 అనుకోండి. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇఫ్ మై ఇండెక్స్ ఇస్ 0, ఇప్పుడు 0th పొజిషన్ లో ఉండే క్యారెక్టర్ ఏంటి? T. Now it returns T like a character. చూసారా? So how the string T is being converted as character T. String T అనే ఒక స్ట్రింగ్ ని క్యారెక్టర్ లో కన్వర్ట్ చేస్తాం by using a method called caret method. So the caret method by default it returns the characters on taking an integer. Okay, integer ని తీసుకొని character ని రిటర్న్ చేస్తుంది. Okay, now how to read the string? First of all, so there is no specific method for reading the character. You have to read the input in the form of string, then you have to convert it like a character. That is the only way for that. Now go to the program. So let us take the character. Now this time we'll ask the user to enter male or female. Are you M or F? So the program asks for male or female to read M character or F character. So you are supposed to make a char gender. You have to create a variable called char. A character variable, the name of the character variable is gender, is equal to, and this is your object. The scanner class object name is input inv dot, call the next method. Next method returns the string and dot caret of 0. Now how many strings you can enter a string actually here? మీరు ఇక్కడ స్ట్రింగ్ ఎంటర్ చేయొచ్చు. ఆ స్ట్రింగ్ ని ఎలా కన్వర్ట్ చేస్తున్నాను? క్యారెక్టర్ లాగా. ఏ క్యారెక్టర్? 0th పొజిషన్ లో ఉండే క్యారెక్టర్, అంటే ఫస్ట్ పొజిషన్ లో ఉండే క్యారెక్టర్. సపోజ్ ఇఫ్ యువర్ ఇన్పుట్ ఇస్ తిరుపతి, మీ ఇన్పుట్ తిరుపతి అనుకోండి, టీ మాత్రమే తీసుకోండి. ఇఫ్ యువర్ ఇన్పుట్ ఇస్ నెల్లూర్, it takes only n. If your input is Atmakur, it takes only a. Okay, so specifically you are asking the JVM to take only 0th position character from the given string. The next method మీరు input చేసిన string ని return చేస్తుంది. The next method returns your string, but from that string you are taking only one character, that is also the first character based on index 0 here. right? Got it? Okay, now if I enter my input as m, ఇప్పుడు నేను m అనే ఒక స్ట్రింగ్ ఎంటర్ చేస్తాను, m ని స్ట్రింగ్ లాగా ఎంటర్ చేస్తాను. Now the next method have the value m అనే ఒక వాల్యూ ఉంది నెక్స్ట్ మెథడ్ లో ఒక స్ట్రింగ్ ఉంది, ఆ స్ట్రింగ్ లో ఒకే ఒక క్యారెక్టర్, దట్ ఈస్ m. దీన్ని ఇప్పుడు క్యారెక్టర్ లో కన్వర్ట్ చేసుకోవాలి, అంటే క్యారెట్ ఆఫ్ 0. అక్కడ ఒకే ఒక క్యారెక్టర్ ఉంది, వాట్ ఇస్ ద ఇండెక్స్ ఆఫ్ దట్ క్యారెక్టర్? 0. సో ద 0th position character is m. Now it returns the m character and stores that m in the gender variable. ఇప్పుడు gender అనే వేరియబుల్ అది స్టోర్ చేస్తుంది. ఓకే, let us display that. Okay, so based on this gender we'll add Mr. or Miss. Gender ని బేస్ చేసుకొని Mr. or Miss అనేది యాడ్ చేద్దాం. We'll write an if condition further. If gender double equals to m, character kada, not string, but that is a character. Yeah, gender, if gender is double equals to m, whatever it might be, that might be the small m or capital M. అది small m అయినా కావచ్చు, capital M అయినా కావచ్చు. Just convey this name is Mr. so and so. So in the else if I can write here gender m చెక్ చేస్తే ఇంకా f ని చెక్ చేయాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు కదా, అందుకని else if రాస్తున్నా. రెండు చెక్ చేయాలంటే you can write just only if అని రాసుకోండి. if అని రాస్తే m తర్వాత f ని కూడా చెక్ చేస్తుంది, it checks f also. సో ఏదో ఒకటే అవుతుంది కదా, రెండు ఒకేసారి కావు కదా. సో కాబట్టి దీన్ని else if చేసేద్దాం. When if it is true it will not happen, when if it is false then all it will happen. So in the system.out.println we should have to convey the message Miss N. Some callers are dropping off from the meeting. Okay, so just give me 5 minutes, I'll complete this. So here we're conveying the Mr. message and Miss. So it depends on the gender, we are going to take the decision for that. Okay, and where you are reading that character, here this is the statement for reading the character. Then execute the program, enter your name. Let me enter some lady name. So let us take Jahnavi. %. So let me enter F. Whether you're grad, yes, true. See, name is Miss Jahnavi. Miss Jahnavi. Now I'll enter a different thing. A male person here. Sumesh is 29. And M. See, previously for Jahnavi, I given the character as small f, but now I'm giving it as capital M. So capital letter ichna small letter ichna manaku work avutundi, because we have wrote the condition like that. Mana condition ala rasam kabatti. So the grad is false. See here, it's Mr. Sumesh. Okay, so the character can be a small letter or capital. This is logical or, either this or this. So small m double equals to capital M, false, and capital M double equals to capital M, then that is true. Then this is going to be true. Okay, and if user might have entered a different character, we should have to convey the alternative message. Sorry, your gender is undefined. అంటే వాళ్ళు ప్రొవైడ్ చేయలేదు అని. then you can convey message with no label, ఎలాంటి టైటిల్ లేకుండా జస్ట్ నేమ్ ని కన్వే చేసి. Okay, so everything is fine here, else right. Okay, there is a person, Viraj 45, and the Viraj is trying to test our program now. He's going to input the character R. M or F అని అడిగితే ప్రోగ్రామ్ టెస్ట్ చేద్దామని R అని ఎంటర్ చేశాడు. Then we have to show, sorry, your gender is undefined. Then the name is Viraj. Age, percentage, graduate. సో ఇలా మనకు సాఫ్ట్వేర్స్లో ఎర్రర్స్ వస్తుంటాయి. ఈవెన్ వెబ్ సాఫ్ట్వేర్స్ ఆర్ స్టాండర్డ్ ఆన్ సాఫ్ట్వేర్స్ ఎర్రర్స్ని ఇలా కన్వే చేసుకోవచ్చు. ఇన్పుట్ ఎర్రర్స్, యూజర్ ఇన్పుట్ ఎర్రర్స్, డేటా ఎర్రర్స్. Okay, right. So that's up for this scanner classes and reading the inputs dynamically from the user. So this is the way, and I think I'm done for today. I'll stop here the session, and if you have any questions, you can just ask me. I'll be on the call. It's your turn now. Any questions? Okay. Okay. Okay, Lendi Degree College. Bye. You are about to leave.